having you here, all to myself, in the middle of the night.
You don't like rooms full of people, do you?
I like watching them.
I saw you doing that tonight, and I wanted so much for you to understand exactly what you were seeing.
How do you mean?
Well, to begin with, what it all meant to Mother and Da. Frank won. And for Da, that was an affirmation of a lot of the things that are important to him. Things that he tried to teach us. You work hard, you push yourself, you don't count the cost. And in the end, if it's right, you win.
And what if you lose, Mary?
You pick yourself up, you reevaluate, and you try again. Now, for Mother, it was something else entirely.
Like what?
Well, Mother's always been very good at making us feel that she loved each of us in a particular way. So we didn't get into that she loves him more than she loves me business, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we all knew that Frank was special to her. Nobody ever questioned it, because he was special to us, too. Watch sometime when they're in a room together. There is a whole thing going on between them. They each know exactly how the other's reacting. You catch the two of them grinning, nobody else knows what's funny.
Not even you?
Sometimes I do. But in a different way. I asked her about it once. And she said it was because a mother learns mothering through her first child. They're teaching each other all the time. Everything's new together. And so she can't help it sometimes when she confuses his experience with her own.
So what you're saying is that tonight, Maeve Collery Ryan of County Cork saw her son elected councilman of the city of New York, and in a special way it was happening to her too.
Yes, exactly. It was happening to all of us. And I really wanted you to share it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. What about the coffee?
When I hear it hiss, I'll get the pot.
It's hissing.
Remember where we were.
Shall I come to the table?
No, stay where you are. You're still planning to, work as Frank's assistant in January?
I think so, Jack.
Only think so?
Well, it's what we've always talked about. And I know he's counting on it. But I'm beginning to wonder.
What?
If I shouldn't be doing something with my life that's independent of my brother. No, it's not what you're thinking, and that's the problem. I'm afraid Frank will think the same thing.
Which is what?
That I love him less, or care less about what happens to him, or think the less of his abilities because of what I know about him and Jill and Dee.
Mary, I wouldn't expect you to love your brother any less. So I'm sure he wouldn't.
But you know what the whole thing did change?
Tell me.
Dee one time said that it was as if Mother and Da had the same child twice. First it was a boy, and they named him Francis Michael. And then it was a girl, and she was Mary Maeve.
It's the first time I've heard your middle name.
For Mother. Now, the thing is, I've spent most of my life believing something like that myself. I was the other side of Frank Ryan, you know?
I've noticed.
Well, in my head, I knew it was wrong, of course. But emotionally, it was something else again. And then I found out that for 3 years, there had been something in his life that was so important. So beautiful and painful. Something absolutely central to where he was. And I didn't know a thing about it. And that was when Mary and her brother became, in my feelings, two separate, individual, and independent people. Something we should have been all along. Is it called growing up?
Maybe.
So I've been thinking that it might be better for me and for Frank if I get things organized and the office set up and all, and help him find somebody else to be his assistant on a long-term basis.
And what would you want to do?
I don't know yet. I'd still like to find some way of working for Riverside, in Riverside.
But as yourself, not the councilman's sister.
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm. I think the coffee's ready.
Let me ask you something else.
Sure.
Have you thought any more about what I proposed the other evening?
Trip.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it a lot. Mother and I had a long talk about it.
You serious?
Yep.
Well, what'd she say? Or don't I want to know?
Actually, it wasn't about traveling. It was about loving. Oh, thank you. My mother's never made love to any man other than my father in all her life, which I'd always assumed was the case, but we'd never talked about it before. And she wanted me to know what lovemaking was to her, and why she wanted it to be important to me. Some of which we had talked about before. It was a nice conversation. Oh, Jack, that is so good.
Yeah. Try it with an amaretti.
Amaretti?
Mm-hmm. That's Italian for little loves. And save the paper.
Why?
To wish on. Well, come on, Don, I'll show you. First, you take the cookie paper and you shape it into kind of a cone, so it'll stand on end.
I don't know about the wishes, but the cookies are terrific.
Well, they're good for dunking, too. Hey, listen, cut it out and pay attention.
Okay. Now tell me if I'm doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Looks good. All right. Now, moment of truth. You burn the paper, and if the ashes rise and go toward the ceiling, you get your wish.
What did you wish?
Guess. You may be right. There you go. What you What'd you wish?
Will it come true if I tell?
Absolutely, never known it to fail.
I wish to be as important to you as you are to me.
If I had any sense.
You'd do it.
I'd take you home right now.
Why?
I forget what I was going to say.
Why would you take me home?
Because I care a lot about what happens to you. Because I'm afraid that in the long run your family may be right, and I'm not the person that you should get any more involved with than you are already.
I never told you my family said that.
Yeah, but they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to come to depend on me for things I may not be able to deliver. And finally, because you are as important to me as I am to you. And that's the first time I've been able to say that to anyone in a long, long time.
Jack,
Yeah.
don't.
Don't what, Mary Ryan?
Don't take me home.
I thought you were asleep.
I was a little, but I woke up again. I'm not used to sharing a bed.
I take all the covers.
No.
Snore?
No.
You're so beautiful.
I'm glad you think so.
Hey. Come here. It's a nice robe. Where'd you get it?
Out of your closet, do you mind?
No.
I got up because I was hungry, and I got coal poking around in the refrigerator.
Wasn't much there, was there?
Oh, 6 bottles of beer. A piece of cheese, some orange juice, and 2 tasty flashlight batteries. Jack? I love you.
There are no words to tell you how much I like hearing you say that. I'm not in the habit.
Of what?
I was going to say I'm not used to being this happy.
I think that's one difference between us. I am used to being happy. I'm surprised when I'm not. You're surprised when you are.
If that's so, then at this moment, I'm astonished.
There is something I'm surprised about.
What's that?
At how easy it seems. Natural.
It's the way it's supposed to be, Mary.
Thank you for making it so lovely and comfortable and loving.
You're lovely. loving.
If I ask you a difficult question, you give me an honest answer.
What do you think?
You'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
The problem is knowing about all those women.
Or women.
The women that you've loved. Oh, I am so jealous, Jack. I could die. I know there have been a lot of them, and I know how beautiful they all were, and well experienced. And they didn't give you all that static, but I mean, they didn't take everything as seriously as I do. And I just can't help wondering if after all that...
Mary. Be quiet a minute, will you?
Okay.
There's no one. Repeat. No one I've ever known who's made me as happy as you do. There's no one I've ever known who's given me more pleasure in every way. And there's no one I'd rather be with right now. All right?
All right.
Yes. It was worth it.
I don't ever want to get up. I never want morning to come because I never want to get out of this bed.
I think we could probably arrange something to that effect.
Zach, you were right. This bed is the nicest place to be in the whole world. So I think what I will do is to get a direct phone line run between here and headquarters. I can take care of all Frank's business on the phone, and I won't ever have to leave.
Charlie Ferris will never understand.
Oh.
On second thought, Charlie Ferris will understand only too well.
If you could only move the refrigerator a little closer.
How about some peanut bread?
Oh, there's nothing I like better. Actually, that's not true. You were right about something else, too.
What's that?
This is the beginning.
Hey. Now what are you doing?
Watching the fog on the river. Listening to the foghorns.
You look sad.
No, I'm not sad. Serious?
Why? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Oh, no. I don't mind. Only I suspect you'll think it's funny.
Well, try me and see.
I was trying to decide if I feel guilty.
About being here with me.
Yes. You don't think it's funny?
Mm-mm. No, I take guilt very seriously, as a matter of fact. What'd you decide?
I don't think I do.
I'm glad.
There's a chance it may come over me later on. That sometimes happens.
Well, it might very well in this instance.
Why?
Well, 'cause tomorrow you may not be so sure how you feel about me or me about you.
No. I just realized why it won't catch up with me. Why I'm not going to feel guilty at all. Because everything I've done has been out of love. When we were little, and we got into trouble over something, and Mother would get us to define whatever it was by asking us if it had been a loving thing to do. When the answer was no, we knew it was time to start feeling guilty. So, I'm home free.
I hope so.
You don't want to feel guilty about making me feel guilty. Oh, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. I really love you.
One thing does matter, Mary.
Hmm?
What are your folks going to think about it? Their worst fears realized.
Oh, Jack.
What's the matter?
They don't know where I am.
I didn't think they did.
No, I mean they're going to wake up and I'm not going to be there and they'll be frantic.
Well, what do you want to do?
I better phone them.
You wake them up.
Better to wake them up than give Da a heart attack. Is the phone here somewhere?
I'll get it. You sure you know what you're doing?
Yep. I'll be 96 and Mother will be 120 and I'll call her up and say, Ma, it's me, don't worry. I'm not mugged. I just stopped for a bite to eat. Oh, pray.